He's here from Senate Finance. He's Senator Bill Cassidy and Carol Roth. Senator and Carol, it's so good to have you both on this Friday. Thanks for spending time with us. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Liz.
Senator, those 230 economists, they include a Nobel laureate, academics from the University of Chicago, Princeton, and Duke. But you know what? What really jumped out, Senator, is that Senator Chuck Schumer claims Moody's says it'll cut inflation. It didn't say that at all.
Well, Chuck is grasping at straws. When just about everybody is saying that you're going to increase inflation, to quote Mitch McConnell, apparently Democrats didn't think that a record low 30% of Americans approve of how they're handling the economy was low enough. And I think this is going to be jacking up inflation, hurting people in their pocketbook, both by increased taxes, but also by making them pay more.
And to what the senator is saying, what's happening here is, Carol, is Senator Kyrsten Sinema and Senator Chuck Schumer, they get a lot of campaign money from Wall Street, from private equity. Now Senator Sinema says yes to it after they dropped that $14 billion tax increase on private equity. Maybe that could mean more IRS audits of the middle class and small businesses to make up for that void. What do you think?
Yes, I'm very shocked that they're not going after their billionaire cronies who give them their funding and lobbyist money, and that they're going after the middle class, just like they did in the American Rescue Plan when they lowered the reporting threshold from $20,000 to $600 on e-commerce. This is the plan. The billionaires, they're never going to go after them. The real money grab is with the middle class. And so if you get everyone to agree to something in principle, then all of a sudden when the details come out and go, well, it wasn't really a tax, but you're going to pay more in terms of inflation, and corporations are going to pass those taxes on to you. Unfortunately, this is what happens every time, and people are starting to get the ruse and starting to push back, Liz.
Yeah, to what Carol is saying, Senator, if people don't want fastballs whipped past them. Can you talk to us more about how the GOP is ramping up amendments to embarrass Democrats into admitting on the record that during an inflation crisis, they want to pay for their billions in corporate welfare with massive middle-class tax hikes, including more taxes on U.S. oil and gas and manufacturers, hidden excise tax and royalty rate hikes, too, right?
Yeah, so we used the amendments just to kind of expose what Carol was talking about. That for all the high-minded rhetoric, the title that says it's going to reduce inflation, that's not what it's going to do. And go through how, wait a second, we are going to have basically a per barrel of oil tax that's passed straight down to the gasoline pump, and other things that are going to drive up the cost for the average consumer in how she pays for her groceries, her utilities, and her fuel. Those amendments will attempt to establish that for the American people.
And to what the senator's saying, Carol, people are sick of how dishonest Democrats are. Consistently, chronically dishonest, right? So you can't force companies to pay taxes. They're saying this 15% tax rate, minimum tax on companies with $1 billion in profits, that they're going to bring in revenue from that. No, companies can just pass it on.
No, this is so frustrating because these are the people who have lied about and been wrong about everything, whether it is the economy starting to contract, whether it's inflation with stimulus money, every single thing they have been wrong on. And now all of a sudden they are going to centrally plan the economy and it is going to be perfect. It's insane. Of course, corporations aren't going to eat this increase in taxes. Of course, their shareholders aren't going to eat the increase in taxes. It is going to either stifle some of the expenses in terms of innovation and capital expenditures, or it's going to be passed along directly to the consumer, which means the consumer once again is bearing more of the brunt of the cost at a time when their savings are going down and their credit cards are going up.
People are feeling the pain, Senator. There was a time when Democrats said, do not raise taxes in the teeth of a recession. We're in one. Watch this.
The last thing you want to do is to raise taxes in the middle of a recession.
When the economy is in decline, you don't want to raise overall taxes.
I don't think during a time of recession you mess with any of the taxes or increase any taxes.
In an economy like this, the last thing we should do is raise taxes on the middle class.
And this is a global recession. We can't lose sight of that. That what's happening here in the United States is happening all across the globe, and quite honestly, in a higher level in some places.
Labor Secretary saying we're in a recession that Democrats in the White House keep denying. What is going on with this party, Senator?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, and it's worse than that. Building on what Carol said, CBO says because of this tax upon manufacturers, that they are going to invest less in our country. It means, and the National Association of Manufacturers estimates 200,000 manufacturing jobs will be lost. Now, we're in a jobs war. We're in a jobs war with China, with other countries. They are subsidizing people to build there, corporations to build there. And yet, all of a sudden, we're going to raise tax on the manufacturers who are creating jobs for our middle class. So it's the taxes, it's the higher fuel prices, it is also fewer jobs. It's a bad blow to people's pocketbook.
To what the senator just said, Carol, the Republican senators were just off the hook upset today, including Senator Cassidy. We're going to show the senator weighing in with other Republicans today and yesterday. Watch this.
Well, the CBO says next year inflation will go up or down 0.1%, so that's not much of a reduction. It's about as accurate as saying the border's secure and the Taliban didn't know Zawahiri was in Kabul. This is a fraud, it's a lie.
Joe Manchin, what the heck are you thinking? Why?
Much of it is going to be geared and oriented toward increasing the cost of energy.
The economy is coming to a halt. We're in a recession. This is going to make it worse. I will not vote for a continuing resolution that is part of a political payback scheme. If you think you're going to get 60 votes, you need to think long and hard about what you're doing.
But let me tell you who's going to feel the brunt of that. It's going to be small businesses.
If you want to lose a manufacturing war, this is what you do.
There's Senator Cassidy. You know, Carol, how can they think? You know what's really disturbing, too, and the senator's going to weigh in on this, that they want to raise taxes with just Democrat votes, with no Republican votes. What does this mean for the state of our country today, that you can do that and put that on the American people with no bipartisanship behind it whatsoever?
Is that for me, Liz?
Yes, that's for you, Carol. Sorry.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, they don't have the mandate. People are frustrated. You look at the poll numbers. They're frustrated by the way the Congress is handling the economy. We heard it from the senator before, and amen to you, Senator, for standing up for us. This is really crushing and hollowing out the middle class and the working class at the benefit of the elite and the wealthy and well-connected. We have been through a historic wealth transfer over the last couple of years. It is going to continue, and we're going to be in a place where the middle class and working class are entirely decimated.
Senator Cassidy, your final word.
Yeah, this is a bill that's going to touch the American people in a bad way. They'll pay more at the pump, more for utilities, more for groceries, because fuel is so much a part of getting groceries to you.
Right.
And I agree with Carol. This is not a mandate to raise taxes. If anything, they should lower taxes.
Senator Cassidy, Carol Roth, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you.